Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 542 of the DrunkNerds podcast. I'm as always, I'm Tyler, and joining me, we have the man, the myth, the legend himself, Sir Colonel Gables. What's up, buddy?
Oh man, I am feeling pretty exhausted, not gonna lie to you. But at the same time, man, it's been a hard week, but at the same point, I'm ready to play some freaking video games.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely so, dude. And all I will say this, man, it's like this past week, it hasn't been like a light week in terms of like, say, games to try out per se. I mean, there's been demos over the past week or two that have kind of occupied a little bit of my time. But yeah, there's one that I played this past week, which I freaking think is pretty awesome. That
Well, long?
yeah, well, that one I've already
No.
played. That one, I will say that. I'm talking about the other one, probably the one you're not going to be
Nope,
playing because the game releases later this
nope.
month.
Going in like a virgin. If you don't include the other 1,000 times I've been touched by Resident Evil 4 when I was a child. Wow, that sounded really fucked up when I
Oh,
said that out loud. Oh my god, I didn't mean for that.
are you sure you're okay, Tyler?
No, no, God, no. Uh, put the Aaron Rodgers jersey on. This what happens. Oh,
Oh my gosh, dude. But
whew.
I will say this, man. It's like Resident Evil 4, that remaster. Yeah, I've played through the
Yes.
demo. I've watched Maximilian Dood play through it. I kid you not, like about 5 or 6
Jesus.
times already with different types of things. Him and some of his friends or some have played through it too. I've watched that as well. Oh, there's like little idiosyncrasy, little secrets or something like that here and there, kind of hidden and stuff. Like it's this typical kind of Capcom thing to where they hide things inside of their demos that they put out for people to go forth and find after playing through it a couple times. But it's cool because this one's got no time limits or anything else like
Yeah.
that. But anyway, other than that, though, I mean, I have played a couple different other stuff though, but I'll share a little bit later on. But how have you been doing, Tyler?
Yeah. Better now, buddy. Better now. Cracked
Hmm.
open a beer here. Gables, I've been known to, in the nearly 10 years of us doing this podcast, to do a few 12-ounce curls while doing the podcast.
Uh-huh.
And I'm pretty good lately, with not doing crazy purchases, stuff like that. Like if I make purchases, I plan them out. I think about them. I don't do anything super stupid. So after the
Mm-hmm.
podcast last week, Gables, um, I don't know why I popped on Amazon on the app, and well, I didn't pop on the Amazon the app. I was scrolling through Twitter. Warrior64 put a tweet out. A certain movie, a Blu-ray, was on sale for $4. I'm like, hey,
Okay.
I'm 4 beers in. It's 1:30 in the morning. I'm a little tired. Why not buy Detective Pikachu on Blu-ray for $4? So now I have a copy of Detective Pikachu. I don't know why I have it, but I have it. So you know, um, there's the three core rules. Well, there was always two, but now there's three when drinking. One, don't drink and drive. Obviously, don't do that. That's stupid. Don't do that. Um, two, don't drink and text your ex. Also, really stupid. Really, just don't text a significant other or past whatever in general when you've been drinking, unless you're like together. I guess that's fine. But last but not least, don't drink and then go on Amazon. I think that's the next, or just online shopping in general. I think we're gonna add that to the list. Obviously, in that order of importance, don't drink and drive. One, two, text X. Three, Amazon. Drinking Amazon. It's a bad time. But no, I'm doing all right though. I did make another purchase though. This one was planned out. I thought about it.
Oh yeah.
I
Okay.
I've been talking about I've had Advance Wars and Zelda pre-ordered and paid for at my local GameStop.
Yep.
Well, I was looking at that voucher thing, Gables, and I
Yeah.
decided that's a really great deal. So I was like that I can't pass it up, and I thought about it again. State tax here I believe is 7% in Iowa, and I was like,
Haha, you're
yeah.
lucky.
I was like, I can I could save some money. $100. That's 107 bucks. It's $7 here we're talking about. I figured between Zelda and Advance Wars that's $130 plus tax. Looking at like 140 bucks,
Mm,
give or take. I went on GameStop, bought a $100 eShop gift card, no tax on
mm.
that, and then went on, put it
True.
on the eShop, bought the voucher, pre-ordered Zelda, and I pre-ordered Advance Wars. So I'm gonna move when I go to GameStop next time. I'm just gonna move them over to something else when something pops up that I want to play. But yeah, I went ahead and just did the voucher system. It's quick and easy. So lays out all the games you can pre-order. The weird thing is though, it gives you like 100 days or something like that to pre-order the second game.
Oh shit.
I didn't realize that, but I was like, luckily I already had another game in mind. So if you're gonna do it, make sure you know a game that you want to do or that's gonna be coming shortly. Otherwise, I don't know what happens after if you don't use it within like 100 days. Um, Maybe it's 90 days, something like that. It's either 90 or 100. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, I got those pre-orders, so that's pretty exciting. But I'm wearing the for audio listeners, I'm wearing my Aaron Rodgers and my Packer hat. Um, it's a swan song for Gables or for Gables for Aaron Rodgers. I was looking at Gables, like, hey, where am I going? I was looking at Gables when I was talking about, but anyways, yeah, it's swan song for Aaron Rodgers. My he is the greatest Packer in my lifetime since watching the Packers since 1995. So, I am so fucking ready for this goddamn asshole to be gone. He's always been an asshole, and I'd never denied that. Uh, but he's always been my asshole. But it's been 5 years of him bitching, and I'm tired of it. Um, and I'm ready for him to be gone. And we're just waiting for that fucking asshole to get done playing a stupid celebrity football game, so you can make a goddamn decision and go to the goddamn New York Jets and get the fuck off my team. It's love time. Choose love, Jordan Love.
Oh,
Anyways,
oh, it's never that simple with him.
no, no, no. He's gonna do everything he can to stay in the spotlight for every single
Yep.
second he can. He'll probably go on some podcasts and talk about something stupid and get more clicks because that's what he does. Because he likes it when he sees himself trending. He's a narcissistic asshole. But I'm so happy he'll no longer be my asshole, and I can just openly talk shit about him. Uh, well, maybe I can't. There's still gonna be Packer fans that are still gonna like him and defend him. Fuck.
Yeah.
There's people that still defend Brett Favre at the end. Anyways, but this is a people still defend Brett Favre. Holy shit, that was like 15 years ago. Anyways, though, this is, believe it or not, a video game podcast, and where every week we get together and we talk about video games. If you're liking this or you're a fan, first off, why? Second off, thank you. But hey, if you're doing all that, please look in the description below. There's links to our socials, podcast services. We're available on YouTube, stuff like that. So wherever you're listening at, please check us out in those other places. Like, follow, subscribe, 5 stars, comments, share. Share is the most important thing you can do. Do a lot of fun stuff for us. Really would appreciate it. It helps us out. More people can notice us when you guys do stuff like that. Okay, Gables, some of the news this week. Kind of a weird
Right.
week. Not like a lot of um, we've had a pretty decent amount of news the last really for a long. I don't know the last time we've had like an extremely slow news week. Yeah, this isn't a slow news week, but I guess some of the stuff we're not too surprised about. Starting off here though, Starfield officially delayed. I think we all kind of assumed it was gonna get delayed. We're in mid March now, and we hadn't heard about. They announced they had that event back in January. I think January like 25th or something like that for the Xbox underscore Direct, and they said they're going to do an event shortly later on for Starfield. And there's a lot of rumors that we were going to hear about Starfield last week. Ended up not happening. Ended up hearing about it. They just randomly dropped like a 4 or 5 minute trailer or YouTube video at like on a Wednesday, I think. No big press release about it, nothing really, but just um, Todd Howard talking about they're still working on the game. Got like a few like a little bit of gameplay, but it was like them like a camera over a shoulder of a dev working on the game. You can see some stuff on the
Right.
screen. But yeah, it's officially coming out September 6th. There will be a Starfield Direct on June 11th. There will also be we officially know the Xbox Direct will be on the 11th as well. Which I guess that's the Sunday of usually when we do E3. So that's like I guess we're not surprised about that, but it is news
Not really.
that they're going to be back to back, and that because they said the Starfield thing was going to be shortly after the Xbox event back in late January. So like I said, I think we're all kind of prepared for a delay at this point. But hey, I'm surprised we're 6 months out. They give us a date and then also give us an idea when the Starfield Direct. There's no idea how long it's going to be. They probably haven't even put it together yet, so they don't even know. But how you feeling, Gables, about about this? I mean, it's not really official delay because there's never a date, but they did say first half of this year. But it is the second delay now we've had for them in the last year. So I don't know, Gables, how you feeling about this news?
Honestly, how I feel about it is kind of the same thing when we when it was delayed the first time in regards to like 2021, I think it was.
It
I
was supposed to
feel
come out.
like that
Well, they
it's
announced in June 2021. It's come out 11/11/22,
Mhm.
and then
Right,
about a
2022. That's what I
yeah, like
meant.
last spring they announced they're pushing it to first half of this year.
All right, like I was stating, like I'm not too surprised it delayed it once again because the last time we actually saw the game, and especially with the gameplay stuff, it was kind of a little bit questionable in regards to what they showed. So it being delayed until September, I mean, for one, I mean, yeah, it sucks, but at another time, if it gives them enough time just to go and put more effort into doing what they want to get done finished at for launch at least. I mean, yeah, I think that's more power to them on that. I'm not gonna be too like scared or anything else like that, but at the same time and stuff, it's like, yeah, it's a major thing that Bethesda is trying to put out. I mean, this is their first like real game since like Skyrim, quintessentially.
Yeah, well, they had
So
Fallout
yeah,
4 and then 76, but
well, yeah, Fallout 4 came out. It did okay and stuff like that, but 76 was absolute dumpster
yeah,
fire. But they haven't had like a major, really big success in
yeah,
Skyrim.
yeah,
So
yeah. I don't know if anything like I don't think I want to know how well that thing is sold overall because I'd be fascinated because I want to know how many things, how many games have like been able to like sell that well. Like, where's it at on the all-time ranks? That's what I want to know.
I want to know how many platforms.
I mean, it was.
Excuse me. How many platforms that damn
I mean,
game is
they literally
on
put it
now?
on. I don't want to say the word. The Amazon the Alexa thing. God damn it! It heard me. I'll try to say it very quietly. The shut up, Alexa. Um, but yeah, like they even like they literally put it on there. I remember that like people thought it was a joke, but they actually put it on there. You can play the game through the thing. Um, but I mean, so it's been on everything. They even did they repackaged it and resold it for the next gen consoles. Uh, even though it was
Yes,
a
they
free
did.
update for people, you can buy it on the current gen. Um, yeah, it's just yeah, like hey, obviously take your time with these things. Like it's better to come out like it's the Scotty Pippen quote: "Broken game, eventually good, eventually um, yeah." Um, but I don't know. Like, should Microsoft have like maybe a little bit of egg on their face with this one and feel a little embarrassed? Yeah, like like I said, take your time with it. I'm not here complaining, but this is what they're known for at this point. It's just
Yep.
Xbox has been delay
Yep.
after delay after delay. I mean, it's been over a decade. We say this every time. It's been over a decade now of just showing off games, like games get canceled or just disappear forever, or they come
Yep.
out and like they're just underwhelm us, like Crackdown 3 or what was that the platinum game with the guy wearing the
Scalebound.
Scalebound? Was it Phantom Dust? Everwild, which it's that rare game that they announced in 2020. It was like the Xbox like series consoles reveal game, and then the director of the game, they didn't know what the game was when they announced it, and then the director of the game quit, and then they like basically rebooted the whole fucking game. Um, I mean, and you look at that Xbox, that original event back in 2020. It's like it's just riddled with games that we still haven't seen gameplay for. Like that was almost 3 years ago at this point. Uh,
And we still haven't seen
yeah,
gameplay for some of that
we haven't
stuff.
heard from some of them since then. Think about like Fable, Forza. We just finally started seeing gameplay for last June. Um, yeah, I mean, Perfect Dark. We haven't heard from Hellblade in over 2 years now at this point. Um, it's like this is the downside of announcing things way too early, and Obviously Bethesda wasn't owned by Xbox at this point or Microsoft at this point, but I mean Starfield was announced 6 years ago. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and like yeah, like they obviously after Halo Infinite with Xbox, like they're like they know they cannot, and Bethesda after Fallout 76, and I think overall just gaming in general has matured a lot. Um, Maybe not mature is not the right word because we definitely have it, and there's definitely people out there that haven't. Um, I think expectations are different now, where people like we're smarter about we see things like bugs, frame rate, like we are smarter about that. We see that. We're like back in the day, like Fallout 3 ran like dog shit. And when I played the game in like what 2009, I had no idea how badly that game performed. I knew about the jankiness. To me, the bugs were just janky.
Oh
But now
yeah.
that we know when we see it, and we've seen games that run so well, and then after 76, like that was just not acceptable. Like I got cough. Sorry. It's just not acceptable. Like the bar is so much higher now. We're like, yeah, you still want the jank that we want. The people don't want that jank to go away for Bethesda fans, but the bugs and all the other bullshit, like you can't afford it. You can't have it there. Um, hope the gameplay, the shooting is better because like I mean, say what you want about that game. I know like the shooting isn't the core mechanic of that game, but like I mean, it looks better in what we've seen, like what we've seen a little bit of Starfield, but like that show was like awful if you weren't using bat system.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like I said, like I keep saying, take your time with it. Like I'm not like, I mean, it helps. I'm not like a huge Bethesda fan. Like I really liked Fallout 3. I even bought the DLC for it. New Vegas, I played a good chunk of. Like I played like 20, 30 hours. I fell off. Fallout 4, I think I played like 40 hours of. And I was like, I thought I was like done with that game, and I found out I had like another 5 hours ago, and I'm just like, I'm so done with this game. I don't want to play it anymore. I'm done with it. I'm over it. I didn't like the loop. I was just kind of over at that point. 76 didn't even touch. Skyrim just wasn't for me. Not the big fantasy stuff doesn't really work for me. So yeah, like it helps in that case where like I'm not like this massive fan, but I am a fan of video games and I want this thing to do well. And I'm not rooting. I'm never gonna openly root for a game to do poorly. I'll make jokes about shit sometimes, but I'm never gonna like openly like fuck yeah, like people don't like this game. It's like that's stupid. Um, and plus it's on
Mm.
Game Pass. Like I love Game Pass. No one loves Game Pass maybe more than me. Um, so yeah, like I want this, and like more people get Game Pass. The more successful Game Pass is, the more they're gonna put into it, and the longer it's gonna stick around. So I want this to do well. Like I said, though, like Xbox has been known for these delays, and they had that we keep we talk about like oh man that press conference. Like they've had a really good string of press conferences lately. The last three, I would say, or at least the last 21, 22 were awesome. Um, we actually got actual gameplay, but the last one there was like all these games coming in the next 12 months. I think there's like I went back and looked at it, and then like most of them, to be fair, are out or have release dates in the first half of this year. But there's like another 10 or 12
Right.
that we don't know anything about, and two of the three, um, Redfall is scheduled for May, so it looks like that's going to hit May 2nd. But I feel pretty confident that's going to be the date. But you look at the two of the three biggest games that were at that event, that were like the big things they're pushing. Forza, Jeff Grubb is saying he's here in October for that, and now Starfield in September. So those didn't hit. So this is what I mean. It's just more egg on your face. Like we like, and I think the last few years now, like games like are being. It feels like games just get like maybe there's just more big games now than ever, but like it just feels like there's more delays than ever. And the next story's gonna be
Mm.
about delays. Um, but yeah, it's like when unless like you announce a date and it's like within a few months, like no one really believes you. I feel like, um, but like you, especially at Xbox, like their word doesn't mean a lot when they announce dates anymore. I mean, like they announced Starfield that date a year and a half in advance. They announced that in June 2021 for
Yeah, they did.
November 2022. Um, they announced fucking the Halo Infinite was gonna launch day one with Xbox. In So that came out in November 2020. They announced that in June. Was that 2018 or 2019? I think it was 2019. So a
Hmm.
year and a half. Once again, year and a half in advance, and they got delayed a whole year, and it still wasn't done. So it's like
Yep.
I want like not in like the talk shit sort of way, but I would love to see like, did they actually think that was going to happen, or is that just wishful thinking? Like, I want to know where the mindset is of. I don't think these are like the people on the ground floor in front of the computers making this game. They're like, yeah, we can have that done by then. That's probably like some executives are saying that. Like, oh yeah, we can have it done by then. But I'd love to see where these games are at, where Halo Infinite was in November of 2020, where uh, Starfield was in like November of 2022. I'd love to see like in an alternate universe, like to be out when those games came out and like the state they were in at that point, because like that blows, like it's just always crazy when you hear shit like that. But I mean, even Redfall got delayed basically the whole year. That was supposed to be a summer 2022 game. So
Yes, it was.
I don't know. I mean, it's whatever. Like get the shit right. I mean, we've waited this long at this point. What's a few more months? But like I keep saying, I feel like this is the year the games got to start coming, and we need to like this is like we gotta start seeing that city stream of shit coming. Like I said, like they've all these games they announced that we still haven't seen from. We haven't seen the actual gameplay they announced years ago, and I don't know. Like we'll talk about the Microsoft showcase and then the Xbox showcase another day. Maybe when we get a little bit closer. But yeah, I feel like man, we gotta start seeing some of that shit that they've announced years ago before they start announcing more shit. Um, but speaking of delays, Gables, Suicide
Hmm.
Squad got delayed. We bullied it to the point it actually delayed itself. To be fair, this is not official. Um, Jason Schreier originally reported this, saying it was going to be delayed to later this year. Jeff Grubb did add to that, though, saying that he's not reporting this as like facts, but he is saying that they are discussing delaying it to 2024. So,
Hmm.
I mean, you think 2024, we're talking from end of May to, you know, February-ish. So we're talking 8 9 months here at the earliest. That game might actually come out. Obviously, that's he's not confirming that, but and this hasn't even been officially confirmed by Rocksteady. This is being delayed, but it sounds like basically people were pushing for more time on this game, and once they had the state of play, what was that a couple weeks ago, and the
Yeah.
negative feedback from that was finally like the thing that like pushed it over to like okay, we need like this was like all right, look what people are saying about our game. We need to push this, and here we are. So I don't know. It was like, do you think will this actually make a difference in Suicide Squad?
Well, I'll tell you what, Warner Brothers does not have a good track record with the delaying of games recently that ended up paying
Well,
off for them. Gotham Knights is the
Hogwarts Legacy was delayed 4 times and came out. I mean, it sounded like it came out and it wasn't. It was still like
okay.
unfinished,
That's a good point.
but like there was still a lot of bug issues and it could probably need a couple more months. But that one worked. But yeah,
True.
you're right.
True. That one did
Yeah,
work in that regards and that aspect and stuff. What I'm more or less trying to refer to is with Gotham
yeah,
Knights because Gotham Knights had to be delayed and stuff, and that also did not pan out well for them in regards to it because they had to take out a lot of the integral things that they were trying to develop around, which was the live service stuff. And then once the game did come out last year, it was not good because felt it basically was a game where it was definitely aimed towards like a live service type of thing, but it was like middle of the road. Everything was like middle of the road in times of that game to where the reviews were not glowing with it. There were definitely a lot of stuff that felt kind of like boring, kind of campy sort of S type of
yeah.
thing to it. I know from what you were saying, Tyler, the story is actually pretty decent for the game.
What game?
Gotham
That's what I
Knights.
heard. I've never played the game, but I heard like the story stuff is
Okay, okay,
pretty good. Um, I don't know the ending, but I just know I heard people say the campaign's fine.
okay, okay. But for what we have for Suicide Squad and stuff, I mean, it definitely has the possibility of it kind of following suit with Gotham Knights, but at the same time, I think that it could that would probably have a better chance of being a little bit more successful than Gotham Knights. And because it's more or less because of like the studio involved with the Rocksteady does have a good track record in terms of producing good games in the past. But at the same time, it's like I'm looking at what needs to be improved for Suicide Squad right now and why it's getting the negative press. And it seems like a lot of the negative press has to do in large part to these live service sort of aspects of it. That's one of the thing. The second thing is always being online. That was another thing that people
Yeah.
dinged that game for because it's not understandable at all why a single player game where you cannot play it offline. I mean, it does not make any fucking sense. There's no online servers that you would have to really worry about it as long as like okay, maybe in regards to maybe doing like an online co-op thing or something. But this is not supposed to be like a major sort of live service game a la Destiny 2 or
What,
something
Suicide
like
Squad?
that, with
No, that's
yeah.
100% what this game is. Yeah, they have battle passes and everything.
Well, yeah, that's the thing though. That's the thing though. It's like you take away a lot of that aspect of that game, it's
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
yeah. I'm just saying though, it's like Suicide Squad is trying to do the same type of models as other games have done in live service games and stuff, but this is not like Destiny 2 sort of say to where it's like it's more of a dedicated thing from like day one with like a big old major like company like backing it, doing all this other shit and stuff like that. For Rocksteady to do this thing for Suicide Squad, though, I mean, the live service stuff is intricately embedded inside of this stuff. I mean, this is like you were saying before, like battle passes and stuff, like multiple characters being introduced, like different story things, probably like going to an expansion. And this is definitely not the type of game to actually go forth and do something of that sort. This is the type of game to where it was obviously like a first like it was obviously like a single player sort of like S type of thing from the get go, from what I
Oh, Gotham
understood from
Knights
what it
was.
was. And okay,
Yeah,
Gotham Knights
Suicide
was, but
Squad is
not so
always going to be a
much.
live service game. Gotham Knights was riddled with issues because it was supposed to be a single player game where you played as um what's the Robin when he turns into the was Nightwing.
Nightwing,
It was a Nightwing game, and then they announced Square Enix announced the deal to make Marvel's Avengers a live service game. Suits got involved. They're like, well, we want that. So then
right,
it got turned into a live service game, and then Marvel's Avengers came out, and they're like, we don't want that. And then they tried to pull out as much live service as they could, and then finally we got Gotham Knights. Yeah,
right.
Suicide Squad was always gonna be like this game is entrenched in live service stuff. It's got the battle passes. It's gonna have. They announced they're adding more characters later on. There are additional content. There's the different colored fucking like there's the purple, the orange, like all the different colors, like the weapons for rarity. Um, the everything, all the numbers go up. You have a power level. Like this game is trying to be a Destiny 2.
Okay. So with that in mind, and from having you having to re-explain a lot of the different core subjects with it, that is a possibility where it could absolutely do worse than Gotham Knights did, because this is more intricately played in part to the core of its roots of its ideas and stuff. So, thinking about it now and changing my thoughts about it, it's like, yeah, this could definitely be worse. Absolutely could be worse
Yeah,
for Suicide Squad.
yeah. I just um, even if they delay this game, say they give it a full year, um,
Hmm.
and maybe it's like they're not gonna make any wild changes. Maybe they just legitimately needed like a few more months to work on this game to like
Hmm.
just there's bug issues, it's not gonna be done, or like they're looking at like all these other games, these live service games that come out, and then like they just there's no content for months, like a Halo, or like we saw with like the original Destiny, or even Destiny 2 when they first launched. Like there was a
Yeah,
long drought between the launch game and then like big like substantial content drops, or like Marvel's Avengers. Like
true.
that's the thing that riddled that thing to today. It's eventually gonna die in September. Um, maybe like hey, we can just delay this, X amount of months. Like we can have shit in the pipeline like ready to go, and we're not like putting this game out and it's like already gonna review poorly, and then we're not gonna have anything for it to play, like anything to add to it to like maybe turn this thing around. Like Marvel's Avengers had like the Wakanda Forever, or not Wakanda Forever. It was Wakanda something. The big Wakanda expansion. I heard it was excellent. Uh, but it
Right.
took all nearly, I think, was it over a year? I can't remember. I think it was last year. It might have been like a year and a half. It was either 6 months or a year and a half later. They finally put that thing out. I heard it was excellent, but it took so long to finally come out that no one cared anymore. Then they finally put Spider-Man out, but Spider-Man was like 2 years later, and it was
Yep.
not very well made, and nobody definitely cared because they didn't even add like story stuff to it. Normally, when they add new characters, they have a few missions you could do. They had nothing for Spider-Man,
Yes.
and then like cool, like it brought some people back. Like I even bought the game and like played through the campaign. Like it's like okay, I want to check this out, and then like nothing happened, and now they're closing it and or they're not gonna be able to, they're not selling it anymore in September. Um, So maybe they're like, hey, if we can have this, and then maybe in a few months we can have this and have this, and have characters ready to go, boom, 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 boom. We got a steady pipeline of stuff, and we can realistically hit these dates, hit these goals, and keep it. And it's not just people talk about this game every day about when's this coming, where's this at, what's going on Suicide Squad. Like I don't know, maybe that's best case scenario. I think that's what it is. Like bug fixes and having a pipeline ready to go. Because with the live server stuff, like the live server stuff it's in there. Like the game is built upon it. That is the roots of the game is live service, and you
Right.
can't just like this isn't just a feature of the game that people are mad about and like okay, well we're gonna take away that, or it's like something where like there's some bullshit like you gotta buy the expensive edition to get this. It's like okay, we heard the backlash, we're gonna put we're gonna like which has worked where it's like Xbox is gonna double the price of Xbox Live, and then the backlash happens like okay, we're not gonna do that. Or uh, PlayStation when they after they promised they weren't gonna charge $70 for or $10 upgrades for Horizon for PS5, and then they try to undo that and like no, 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 you said you were gonna do that, and then like okay, we're not gonna do that. Like I don't know, maybe I don't know. I just that's like you can change those things. I mean, obviously those are end games, but these are
Yes.
but this that like I don't like unless you just start the game over again, you can't like at this point like at that point like you're chasing you're just throwing in more bad money here. You're not like at this point like if that's what you're really like this game is like content complete and it's actually done and you're like, okay, maybe we can fix this a little bit, just put it out in May. Like, there's not like, because you can't change the game. Like, it is what it is. And even if like you actually were able to do that and fix it and turn it into what we want from a Suicide Squad game, the damage is done. Like, you can get a lot of us back, or not maybe not a lot of us, but there's that hardcore audience like us that pays attention, that
Yep.
watches that listens to that reads articles, that listens to other people, that watches YouTube videos, that watches these state of plays, that understands what's going on, that can like okay, you can win us back if you were able to do that, which you really probably can't. Um, but then there's like a lot of people that just kind of heard from other people or just kind of understand what's going on that don't listen. Like it's always like I can't remember like the exact line, but it's like when like someone puts out or like a news article or something like that, and it's wrong. Like 10 million people are going to see that. But when someone like puts out the retraction, a million people are going to see that. So the retraction, yeah, you might like okay, but like I said, like it's 10 to 1. Like 10 million people just now like saw it, but still like oh you put the retraction out, 9 million people just now believe that's the case, and that's it. Like you're done.
Yep.
And that's gonna be the case I think for this game. Like and like it's a complaint. Like you got fucking King Shark and Captain Boomerang, which with fucking machine guns. Like it's fucking Captain Boomerang. The guy's name is Boomerang. He has a machine gun. King Shark, one of the strongest people in all of comic books, is fucking go around with the goddamn Tommy gun. At least like to give Marvel's Avengers um, a little tip of the cap for you. At least all their characters like played differently. Like
Yeah.
like uh, you know, Black Widow was completely different than Thor to Iron Man to Hulk. Like they're all wildly different. It's like all you guys just there's no difference between Harley Quinn and King Shark here. I don't know. Like I'm like I said, I'm gonna root for it. Like I want to buy this game. Like I said, like when I heard like Rocksteady make a Suicide Squad and you're like a Suicide Squad game and you're killing the Justice League, like I'm all like when we originally saw that teaser trailer, I'm like I'm ready to give you my money, and all you gotta do is just not fuck it up. And all they've done since then is fuck it up. So, I hope to God, like if like I'm hoping that like eventually like it comes out, and like if the game is what it is, what we think it is, and what it turns out to be, that people just like say, hey, the gameplay is not great, but that story is awesome, that'll be enough for me to like when I see that game for like $30, $20 to go pick it up, like I did with Marvel's Avengers. Saw it for like I think I got it for like 15, $20 off GameFly. Then I'm gonna buy it and I'll play it and have a good time with the campaign and just turn it off forever. But to me, that's
Yeah.
best case scenario for me at this point. Gables, let's move on though. So let's start to move on to some fun news here though. Instead of some depressing delays, we got release dates, Gables. Um,
Yes, we do.
Capcom had the spotlight on Thursday. Um, so we had the Resident Evil 4. We got a new trailer for that one. A little upset that they showed off Salazar. I didn't want to see him. I just didn't want to know. We still haven't seen him. We still haven't seen Wesker, which makes me happy. But I didn't want to see my boy Salazar. I want to go in clean on that one. I will not make a joke about Resident Evil 4 touching me as a child again. I promise. Um, Remember when I said that like 30 minutes ago, Gables? I was really fucked up. I can't believe I said that. Uh, so anyways, Resident Evil 4, we know it's coming out March 24th. Funnily enough, though, there was like they had Twitch ads running for Resident Evil 4 demo being out now that were playing
Yeah.
the day before the event. So, um, yeah. But we talked
Wow.
about this last week. Like we okay, at the end of this they're gonna announce the demo. They always announce the demo out now or out tomorrow or something for these things. So it's out. You said you play it. We'll talk about that here in a
Yeah,
little
I have.
bit. No, this time no time limit. Usually I think there's like 30 minutes. Um,
There's no time limit
yeah.
at all for
I didn't
this.
realize this is coming. I've been seeing this a lot of games do this where they announce it's coming out cross gen. But they don't go to the Xbox One. They go to PS4, but not Xbox One. I've seen multiple games now do that. I don't know what's going on with that. I want to know. I want to know more about that.
Oh, for Xbox One?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
So they're coming to
well,
PS4. Like AEW Fight Forever is coming to Xbox Series consoles, PS5,
yep.
PS4, PC, but not Xbox One. So
It's notorious to develop for the Xbox One
yeah,
now.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just too much to do a Series S and an X or something. I don't know. But I don't know. I mean, like I said, like the when we had the one a few weeks ago for the state of play, I didn't want to really see any more from that one. Then I didn't want to see any more of this one. Um, I'm not gonna play the demo. I know you played the demo. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, I talked about Suicide Squad. All they've done was fuck it up since launch. All this has done is gotten me harder since launch, or since they announced it. So
It's good.
yeah.
Let me tell you,
Oh
man.
god.
It plays fucking
Oh man,
good.
2 more weeks, Gables. 2 more fucking weeks, and it's mine. I will hold it in my hands. Um, Next up, though, Gables, we finally got a release date for my game of the year, Exo Primal. I talked about this a couple weeks ago. I talked about this. I've been talking about this for. I even talked about last year. Not enough of these games exist that are like that Lost Planet style, like just like the most 7.5, 7 out of 10 game you've ever fucking seen. But you're like, God
Hmm.
damn it, I can have a lot of fun with these. Like, God bless you, Capcom. You know, we got Strangers of Paradise last year. We're getting Extra Primal this year. Maybe it's not 7/10. I don't know, but I missed that era. You know, we lost that area, like towards the end of the 360, PS3 era. That time frame. Those games, HD gaming, making it super expensive to make games. Just
Hmm.
we just don't get enough great games like that anymore. Um, and this looks like it's that. It's coming out July 14th. This one actually is coming to Xbox One and PS4. Okay, so I don't know what the fuck's going
Hmm.
on. It's that dinosaur game though. It's like a three-person online shooter game where I guess you're going through time and I don't know. The story looks fucking dumb as fuck, but there's actually a beta next week, March 17th and 19th. It's gonna be an open beta,
Hmm.
which has been on the Japan PSN store for like a week or two. Like they actually posted that early too. Capcom just leaking their own shit. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, they are.
um, but Gables, not only is it coming out July 14th, Gables, guess where it's going day one?
Game
And
Pass.
what is Game Pass, Gables?
The
You're
best deal in gaming.
goddamn fucking right. Because we're getting the game of the year for free with Game Pass, and I'm excited for this. Gables, I don't know what you're doing July 14th. Yes, I do. You're playing X Primal with your buddy, Tyler. We're going to have a great
All
fucking
right.
time. It's going to be a gay old time.
Hey, man, that's fine by
You're
me.
goddamn. I don't care if it's fine with you or not. We're playing it together. I'm excited for this game. I'm excited for the beta. I can't wait to check it out. I don't know. I mean, we watched this. We saw the reveal together last year, and we thought
Hmm.
it was the stupidest thing we've ever seen. All the dinosaurs fall in the sky, and I just
I
continued.
could not stop
Yes,
laughing.
and it's like don't get me wrong. I don't think this game is gonna be like fantastic, but I think I'm gonna have a fantastic time with it, and that's the best case scenario for this game.
Just the mental image of it now, just like these dinosaurs falling from this goddamn like black hole or something like that in the sky. Like, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
I'm kind of pissed they like explained why the dinosaurs are falling out of the sky. Like I don't want to know that. I just like the idea of just dinosaurs for no reason falling out of the sky. I'm kind of upset now. We know why. Uh, oh man, I cannot fucking wait. Fucking Game Pass, man. Just gets we don't deserve Game Pass, Gables. We don't deserve Game Pass. The world is too good to us. Um, Next up though, Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak is coming to a PlayStation and Xbox this April. They are gonna milk this game for every goddamn penny. They did this last year. They put out
Hmm.
the, what they came with the Switch exclusive. Then like 6 months later, I think we got Sunbreak, and then last year they put it on PC, and then like 6 months later, they put out Sunbreak, and now they're doing the same thing. Came out the consoles in January. Now in April, a few months later, putting out Sunbreak. What's weird though is like the updates though are like staggered. So like the Switch
Yep.
version is ahead of the PC version, which the PC version is also ahead of the console versions. Like, what the fuck is happening here? Get your
There's got to be some sort of exclusivity, sort of right or something like that in regards to that, because obviously the precedent and stuff you're going to have is like, well, obviously the Switch had the exclusive thing for Monster Hunter Rise when that first came out
yeah
and stuff, and then when it came after that, though, it came to Steam. But having Steam like be like the center post thing, like even more like up to date, say like from the console versions of it and stuff, that's kind of weird to me. But in regards to Sunbreak and stuff like that, I mean, it's awesome that it's coming on to the PS5, Xbox Series consoles and stuff like that. I mean, people have been enjoying it on the Switch and on Steam, respectively. There is some sales going on right now, as opposed to like the whole Capcom Spotlight sales, including Sunrise is $10 off on the eShop. So for those that want to try to buy that expansion, if they choose to play that version, yeah, you have a little bit cheaper.
yeah. I don't know. Did I tell you Gables I played like 2 hours of Monster Hunter Rise like a few weeks ago? And
No,
after the Wild Heart demo, I'm like, I want to check this out. It was alright. It's not for me. It's not for
yeah,
me. It's not for me. I don't think it's bad. It's just I'm like, okay. I played like 2 hours, did the tutorial, I did the first mission. I was like, I'm done. Um, Hey, people out there, I'm sure are excited for it. I do feel for the people though that played this game on Switch, and then they didn't have cross saves on PC, and then they put it out and they played it again on PC, and then they
mm-hmm.
put it on console on the other consoles, and they didn't do cross saves and there's no cross play. I feel so sorry for those people. Um, but
Well, yeah, I kind of feel that way
Yeah,
too.
Jesus Christ, come on. Especially when you go from PC. I get from like Switch to PC, but from PC to fucking Xbox, no reason. Um,
If you're putting over 100 fucking hours inside of one copy of the game, you might as well do it on the version and something to do like cross save between different
yeah, but
versions.
they probably know people are gonna buy it for a third time. So, Ghost Trick is launching on June 30th. That's that DC game, DC DS game that
Yep.
was actually made. I didn't realize the Ace Attorney creator also Shu Takami
Yep.
created this. Yeah, coming out June 30th. I don't know too much about it. I know there's a kind of a cult following behind it. They said they're
Oh yeah.
30 set. They actually got the original composer of the music to basically redo a lot of the tracks from the game, the original game. So that's pretty cool.
Yes.
So yeah, is this tickling any of your fancies?
It is for me because it was one of the last major DS releases before the DS, like that lifespan
Is
of
it
that handheld and stuff.
2011 or something?
Well, yeah, it's one of those last remaining kind of DS games and stuff before like the 3DS came out, which was like March of 2011. So it was on the tailor end of that, but
Hmm.
it's supposed to be a pretty damn good like point and click sort of adventure, kind of like puzzle game and
Yeah,
stuff. I didn't really get much into it because at that time I was still going to be investing inside of the 3DS at that point. So
yeah,
yeah, it's going to be something fun stuff to check out on the 30th of June.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is coming. That's coming to everything, isn't it? That's not like a Switch thing, is it?
It's coming. I think it's coming to
I'll
everything,
double check that real fast.
honestly.
I guess I did. I didn't write that down. Phantom Detective. Yes, that's come with everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Xbox One, PS4. Yep. Okay. Um, moving on here. Resident Evil, Death Island. It's a movie. Um, they added Jill Valentine.
Yeah.
Um, someone said that this is like one of the first times we've ever seen Leon and Jill on screen together,
Yeah, that's right.
which blows my mind.
You think that they never would have thought about that concept inside one of the video games, but yet during a freaking movie, that's probably not going to be all that
Yeah.
good. Yeah, there they
Was Jill in
go.
Resident Evil 6? I I'm trying to remember because I know she was in 5. They did that weird thing where she was a blonde and under mind control. Um, Jill, I'm looking it up. Jill Valentine, Resident Evil 6. Oh, apparently she was.
Huh.
In the case of Resident Evil 6, Stink lacked a Jill. Oh no, so she wasn't. Her and Claire were not in the game. Okay.
Oh, probably a good thing.
Yeah, good for them. Probably the best thing that ever happened to them. Um, but yeah, they have they're using the same model from Jill from Resident Evil 3, which good for you. Good for you. I'm a big
Yeah.
fan of that model. Uh, that sounded really creepy when I said that. Jesus Christ, what is wrong with me today, man? You're right. I need to stop wearing this. I, I'm
Diddle,
burning
diddle,
this. I'm
diddle.
I'm burning this fucking shirt when I get done. Um,
It's the Aaron Rodgers being fueled
oh
within you.
God. I am. It is objectively hilarious though. That Aaron Rodgers is going to go play for the Johnson and Johnson CEO here in a couple weeks. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It looked like it's fine. I heard that some of these um, like anime ones are actually even pretty. Some of them, like I heard some of them are just dog shit, but some have been pretty decent. Uh, that's coming this summer. Um, I don't know. Whatever. Next up though, Street Fighter 6. Introduced new commentator. Easy for me to say. This is gonna be much easier for me to say. No, it's not. Hikaru Takahashi. Holy shit, that was easy for me to say. Um, so she is the final game commentator, Japanese actor. Um, so she'll be commentating some of the matches. Um, no, not really else announced. They did announce that they're doing the Capcom Pro Tour this year, and I think the winner gets $1 million.
Yeah, absolutely. It was announced in one of their. Actually, it was announced during the final stuff of the Capcom Cup, the one that ended like a few weeks ago, where the biggest prize pool opening up with the next Capcom Cup is there's going to be a prize of like about like $1 million prize, like for the winner. You know, it's one of
Okay.
the first things in East in for like for fighting games did that type of prestige. You know, in terms of aiming for that
Yeah.
big of a pot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard it's like I guess some of the prize pools usually aren't that actually that big for people.
No,
So this is like a
absolutely not.
gigantic
It's
increase for what they usually get.
dude, it's such a huge jump. If there was like about maybe some tournaments that maybe pay off like about 5 or 6 thousand or something like that, or like there's some that it just really depends upon not just the fighting game like series itself, not just the tournament itself though, but I think the highest that I think somebody has actually won inside one of these tournaments is like maybe 200,000,
Oh, okay.
maybe two hundred
Yeah.
thousand.
So yeah, this is
I have to look that up later, but yeah, this is the biggest pot in regards to the whole money stuff for Street Fighter or any type of fighting game tournament. You
yeah.
know.
Hey, that's awesome. Good for that person. Hopefully, yeah. Damn, if only I was good at video games. Um, last but not least here, maybe it's least. I'm not sure. Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection. Finally got a release date, April 14th, 2023.
Hmm.
This includes, I think it was like 14 different games. Well, it's the Battle Network games that were on like Game Boy Advance and DS. Were they on DS? Or were they
Hmm.
on Game Boy Advance?
Well, there were a couple that were on Game Boy Advance, and there were some that were on
Okay.
DS, so it's like cut between two different
Yeah, but
systems.
they did like they're like turn-based games. But they did like that
Yep,
the Pokemon thing where they had like basically a red and a blue version for each one. So that's why there's like so many of them.
kind of like that. Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
you can buy them digitally, and they're like two different packs, or you can buy them all together. I think it's like $10 cheaper if you buy them all together. Um,
yep.
But yeah, and like they said that there's also going to be a Mega Buster mode, which amplifies your attack power by 100. So if you just want to play for the story, sorry, I couldn't finish out with the straight face. Um, if you want to play the Mega Man game for a story, you can just put the Mega Buster mode on, and it basically you just the cheat code. You just one hit kills all the way through the game. Um, the collection will also include 499 patch cards that were previously exclusive in Japan as physical
Yeah.
collectibles. So I don't know, Gables. Like you're more of a I am not a Mega Man person at all. I played the GameCube version of Mega Man Battle Network. That's
Mhm.
pretty much the only Mega Man game I've ever played. So
Well, yeah, it's like this initial set here for like the Mega Man Battle Network games and stuff. I mean, it was just more clarification of what we were getting inside of this bundle, other than like the games and stuff. And you would just mention those individual cards or some that were collectibles in Japan back when those games were first launched and stuff. It's kind of interesting because it's like what, like all 100 and some odd different
four
ones, I think it
499.
is. 499. Okay, so 499, yes. 499 like initial power up things that were collectible at one point in Japan are going to be made available inside of these freaking like this big old bundle in regards to the whole Mega Man Network games and stuff. Kind of having some form of interest of wanting to play them because it's awfully weird because it is a turn-based RPG and it's Mega Man related.
Yeah,
So the curiosity is there. Plus, honestly, I never tried it back then because they didn't really feel like it was my style of game at that point because I was heavily into certain RPGs. But this is during a time in Mega Man history to where they were just kind of throwing ideas out on the freaking. Just throwing the ideas and see what's stuck on the wall or the blackboard or whatsoever. It's like, okay, let's go ahead and have them be in the internet, have them a bunch of computer chips. Let's market this. And what's kind of hilarious about it is the original Mega Man Battle Network TV show that debuted in the United States and stuff. That's actually getting like a oh boy, I think it's getting like some sort of a stream or something like that, or on the YouTube. They're showcasing that
oh
entire
yeah, I saw that
series.
they're yeah they're like I think it's end of this month they're doing that.
Yeah, that was a show that aired on Kids
Yeah,
WB back around the early
I used to watch
2000s,
that.
like 2003, 2004.
Sounds about right. It was around the time Yu-Gi-Oh started because that's why I was watching it.
Yeah,
You
let's see. Yu-Gi-Oh was like 2002, I
didn't,
think,
yeah,
initially.
so it was around that era.
Yeah,
Gables,
yeah. So it was when we were in high school.
yeah. Did you? I was in middle school. Um, Gables, did you know there was a Lost Planet game on the 3DS?
Lost Planet game of 3DS. No, I did not.
Yeah, it's called EX Troopers. It's a spin-off game.
Oh, Jesus Christ,
Yeah,
dude. No, no. Some of that obscure? No, of course I didn't know that.
yeah. I don't know why I was thinking about that. I was like, have they ever put like a Lost Planet? I don't know why it popped my head. I'm like, has there ever been a Lost Planet game on the DS? Like, that was what a weird era when they were doing shit like that. I was just like
Hmm.
think about like the WWE 2K games used to be on DS and shit. Um, Weird
That's
times. I
true.
don't know. The Capcom Spotlight was fine. It was luckily it was only like 20 minutes. It was I said it last week was like they're just trying to sell you on a bunch of other shit, but like they're throwing Resident Evil 4 in there to like as the main course to like get you to like watch all the other shit and like hey, smart idea. Um, like I said, I'm pumped for Exo Primal. Uh, I could not care less about anything else. So I don't know. I'm not gonna rank this thing because I don't want to be mean. What about you, Cables?
Now, we already knew what we were going in and looking for and stuff with this Capcom Spotlight. They already said it beforehand. The specific games they
Yeah,
wanted to
yeah. They
showcase.
stuck to that. They didn't add. They didn't have like a special thing or like a one more thing or anything like that. So
Well, the biggest thing that really came out of that is the demo
yeah,
for RE4 remake and stuff. But that's what we've kind of figured going into it and stuff. But oh yeah, yeah, that wasn't
no,
bad. That wasn't
yeah.
bad.
Like I was entertained enough, and like I said, it was like 20 something minutes, so it was fine. I've definitely wasted my time on much worse things. So, um, but Gables, speaking of much worse things I've wasted my time on,
Yeah.
Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. We're just gonna let okay, I thought you were gonna be mad at me when I made that reference. Anyways, Pokemon Scarlet Violet. Apparently, with the new update, there has been issues with people losing their saves from playing the game, um, and so it sounds like it's maybe affecting more people that have like combined their like Pokemon Go account with it and like tried transferring stuff. Like more people have been losing it that way than others, but like there's no. That's what some people are thinking. It's like a theory more so than a fact. But just a heads up, if you download that new update, maybe don't play the game for a while. And Nintendo and the Pokemon Company, as far as I can find, still have not said anything about this. So
That's weird.
that was that update came out 2 weeks ago. So because Pokemon
Yep.
Day it came out, yeah, it's 2 weeks ago. So fucking wild.
And yeah, and then we've heard hardly anything else from like the Big N in regards to the state, in regards to any type of statement in regards
Yeah,
to
true.
save data is being
Yeah,
lost. It's really weird to
they
where
barely said anything about the game being broken and buggy. So I guess we shouldn't be surprised.
exactly, exactly. I mean, on Pokemon Data itself, they were more worried about showcasing the expansion of it than actually addressing the big old overall issue and the biggest elephant in the room, which was fixing your glitches and all the other shit
Yeah.
that you got wrong while it
Imagine
launched.
buying that DLC, Gables, and then your game you lose your save.
Oh boy, I would not hold it past them. I absolutely would not hold it past them at that point, because this game, those Scarlet and Violet games, man, launched in a broken state. I mean, some encountered more issues than others, but at the same time, this latest update is just the latest example of them not troubleshooting what they're doing inside of this game, and it's affecting everybody else's enjoyment as a result.
Yeah.
So, even with the possibility of losing your save data, I mean, there are issues where people have like had like over 400 hours or something just randomly just disappeared and stuff into this game because of this weird ass sort of like save data glitch because some decided to link it to like their like Pokemon Go stuff, I believe. That's what you were
Yeah.
saying? Yeah, I've heard similar things in regards to that. I've heard just random people off the cuff or some just not even have it connected to home and that just not just home, but having collected the go and then that still having that type of issue. But yeah, it's just that time where it's sad to see all this random stuff still popping up with this game, but at the same time, it just makes me not want to play Scarlet and Violet right now. It makes me want to just wait until maybe the first expansion comes out
Hopefully it's fixed by then.
near the end of the year.
Yeah. It's just completely unacceptable from Nintendo, Pokemon
Yeah,
Company, you name it. This is one of the best selling games of last year. It's one. It's going to be the highest selling Pokemon game of all time, and this game continues to be an embarrassment. Uh, 5 months, 4 months since launch. Uh, and that what's the crazy thing
yeah.
about that update? It wasn't even like to fix any bugs. It was just a normal update. There was no glitches fixed, no bugs fixed, nothing. It was just a update. Um, and like I said,
I'll tell you what it will hurt though. I'll tell you what it will hurt though when that's going to be the next major Pokemon game that
mm-hmm,
does release.
mm-hmm,
I'm, I mean, let's think of it this way. Like in terms of, I know that it's the biggest grossing franchise in this regards, but if you have a falter like this and stuff, and then you try to do your next game, generally the next game is supposed to be a little bit better and stuff, but yet, because of how bad people have been burned this time around, it's probably not going to do as
yeah,
good as what it was doing for Scarlet and
yeah.
Violet.
I mean, it's like Resident Evil 6 for a long time was the highest selling Capcom game ever they've ever made. Even though the game
Right.
was terrible, um, it was Resident Evil 6, and people were excited for it. And Resident Evil 7 eventually passed it, but that game launched and was kind of slow because Resident Evil 6. I always make the point about the Assassin's Creed games. Um, which one was the one that was broken? Uh, uh,
Wait, the Resident Evil
no, no,
6
no,
was
no.
not broken?
Assassin's Creed. What was the
Oh, that was Unity.
Unity was broken, and then the one that I can never remember the name of, but Gables knows.
Syndicate.
Syndicate. Thank you. It's just my mind. I always like I'm gonna use this as an example. And I look it up. I'm like I'm gonna remember it this time. I look it up. Syndicate. I know it. All right. I'm not gonna forget it. And then we get to the podcast, and it's just gone. My mind will not let me know that game. That game. I beat that game, and I don't know the name of it. It's wild. But Syndicate paid the price, even though that game was fine. I mean, the game
Hmm.
worked totally, and it was actually a good game. It paid the price for Unity. Um, and it's like even when like a bad Call of Duty comes out, it's still one of the highest selling games of the goddamn year because it's Call of Duty. And I still, I'm not sitting there and say, oh, Pokemon's not, no one's gonna buy it when the next one comes out. But I bet there's gonna be a lot of people. I bet I wouldn't be shocked if that game comes out and it's kind of a little bit of a disappointment because of this. Especially makes it
Yep.
worse because it's gonna be one of the highest selling of all time. So more people have played this than normal. So um, and every time I see like screenshots or videos of that game, I'm like, God, I just hate looking at it. I just hate look. It's so ugly. I love that game. There's a lot of things I love about the game, but I just
Yes.
visually don't like looking at it. Um, yeah, I mean it's just wild. And like Madden had the same issue where Madden 23, where if you play the game for like a couple day period, if you play it online, like I play like an online franchise, but it's just me. But um, if people that played it, like I think like 40% of people that in that time frame lost the save, and Madden immediately posted about it, said what was happening, and all those people that lost their save, millions of players that lost their saves, they're giving them 50% off the purchase of the next game. Right away, they said that. It's been
Wow.
2 weeks. Nintendo nor Pokemon Company hasn't even addressed the fact that this is happening. So
Yeah, this is a
yeah,
problem.
this is
Absolutely.
it's a fucking embarrassment. Um,
If people complain about other companies doing it and not
yeah,
complain about Nintendo doing
yeah.
this and stuff, where the fuck are you
This is
doing? I mean, what
yeah.
the
It's the
fuck
thing
are
that
you
drives me
doing?
nuts. Like I'm harder on Nintendo than anybody, but I also love Nintendo a lot. But this is the thing that drives me nuts. Where I know the Pokemon is not owned by Nintendo. They own a third of it. Blah blah blah. But it's a Nintendo Pass, and this is kind of shit. Like if this happened with Activision, people would be losing their. This would be everywhere. We could
Yeah.
not listen to a podcast. We could not go on Twitter without hearing about it. Um, but it's because it's Nintendo, because it's Pokemon. We're just gonna kind of, I,
And because a lot of Nintendo fans are pretty sensitive about this type of stuff
yeah,
anyway, so it's like
yeah, it's fair.
major extreme Nintendo
Yeah,
fans. Not all, but just the most extreme
yes,
of
yeah.
Nintendo
We
fans.
always, yeah. To be fair, yeah. This is like the what's the vocal minority is what we're talking about here, not the majority.
Yes.
Um, Speaking of possible issues with Nintendo here, apparently the Wii U just if you don't use it for a long period of time, can just brick itself.
That's just something of like kind of like a not just a rumor or something like that, but a lot of this stuff started off because people started going back to their Wii U's because okay, it's getting close to like the eShop stuff being closed and stuff. We're gonna take the Wii U and stuff out of their storage and stuff, plug it in, see, go forth and see if we can just play a couple of games or something off the cuff or download a couple of games and stuff. But then when they did that, some people are reporting that their memory stuff is being corrupted or they can't no longer play their systems because of a specific type of memory file thing is giving them error messages. Now, some of this stuff is based upon like users from Reddit that are reporting this issues. Other people are reporting some issues as well as a result of like having some form of memory issues or this and that and stuff. I personally actually plugged in my Wii U this past week because I wanted to see if this thing is affecting me as well. And no, no, for anything like that stuff, it's not affecting my console, but it's probably due in large part that I've actually plugged in and played the Wii U maybe periodically, like every like year and a half or something like that, and maybe not to the extent to where people have had it literally inside their closet for like 5+ years without touching it.
I mean, I get it. That's the only
And
place to play the letter, so it makes sense.
well, there's a couple games that you can only play on the Wii U right now. I wouldn't count the letter, but still. But no, what I'm saying is that this is definitely a problem in regards to this having to be an issue in general for preservation purposes. Apparently, people have gone through and tried to dissect the error code itself. Some are thinking that is directly related to like Smash Brothers Wii, but I can't really verify any of that stuff. It's just basically the stuff I have read and also stuff that I have watched like on YouTube as well. But the biggest question that's come along with this is like the preservation of the Wii U itself. I mean, the Wii U itself, it was not a great console at launch. There were issues with like connecting things with the online that I've personally had problems with. The infrastructure of certain things weren't that great. The gamepad stuff, like pretty much kind of like dying after like a few hours or something, those kind of things. It does have a multitude of like small quirks and stuff that make it more of a frustration to play today as it did when it first launched.
Well, remember
But
when it first launched, and if you turned off the console while it was doing the original update at launch, it would brick your console.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
it's,
absolutely.
it's
That was a
fucking
thing that
wild,
happened.
man.
Exactly. That is a fucking wild thing to think about. And yes, now I remember that stuff because I had to literally have that damn console make sure that it did not disconnect
Yeah,
while doing a major update. But what's kind of hilarious about that is when I first got my Wii U and I tried connecting it to online, that's what it kept doing. It kept disconnecting for the fucking update because my internet thing
like
wasn't so
stop
strong
it,
with it.
please, cause work, don't break. I remember Dave, remember from Sarcastic Gamer, his
Yeah.
girlfriend at the time, Esmeralda.
Yep.
He was
Yeah.
telling the story about she bought one at launch, and it was before like the news like the had broke about that, and that
Yep.
had happened to her.
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
so I remember I don't know, that just popped in my head. 2012, man, what a time.
Jesus Christ, man! I can't believe it's been like over 10 years of
Yeah,
that ago and stuff, and we're still remembering that thing
goddamn.
fresh in regards to the Wii U
Gables
stuff.
were old.
Oh, yeah, we're definitely getting there, though. I mean, come on, we're in our mid 30s, though, so it's like,
Wow. Oh. Oh.
I just literally just threw a dagger inside of Tyler's heart.
I had never thought about the fact that I'm in my mid 30s now.
Oh, doesn't feel like it, but yes, we are.
Gables, we started this podcast in our early 20s. I just want to point that out to you. Oh my
Yes,
god.
yes, I remember. I was there. And yes, this is actually the stuff that we were talking about back then too. 3DS, Wii U stuff, 360, PS3.
We were still doing this podcast in the 360 and like, oh my god, the Last of Us was the first game I ever talked about on a podcast. My god.
That's true, and that was towards the twilight years of like
And
the
that was like,
PS3.
yeah, the last like 6 months of the that era. My god. Where did the time go?
Oh, man, I don't know where the time goes with a lot of this stuff, but at the same time, though, from one relic of the era, this whole freaking Wii U console. I mean, like I've stated before, man, preservation issues. This is going to pop up again fairly soon, I would think. But it just shows me that Nintendo did not see long term goals with this system in general.
My mind's so broken about the mid 30s thing. Gables, I'm not gonna lie to you. We okay. Let's move on before I need to crack another beer here. Um, am I allowed to do that? I don't know. I'm too old. Uh, anyways, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Gables broke me. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Apparently is adding 5 new characters. So we got some good news here from Nintendo at least this week.
Yeah.
Um, so the new update came out for the I think it's Wave 4 is out now for
Yep.
Mario Kart 8 for the DLC. They put out Birdo. There's a new Yoshi's Island track, and then also when they did the update, just 5 more spots that are like unfilled just showed up at the character selection scene. So I don't. Okay, uh, like I was super pumped for this, even though I know they're not like full blown remake tracks or just remastered for this game. They'll bring back a lot of tracks, but the fact we got 1 new track, just adding Birdo, um, and now it looks like we're getting 5 new characters. Like, what is
Yeah.
happening with this game? Uh,
This game is still getting new content, even
10 years later,
technically it's over 10 years
yeah,
old.
goddamn. Gables, we've been playing this game almost as long as we've been doing this podcast.
It was my game of the year one year.
2014, yeah.
For 2014. But at the same time, man, it's like I'm fairly glad that this new wave thing is coming out for Mario Kart 8.
Mid
But
30s.
man, Five new characters, and then we're playing it until
Yeah.
we get out of our
We're
mid
gonna be playing
thirties.
the yeah. Oh my god, we're gonna play this in our late 30s, Gables, which isn't far away apparently. Um, Gables, will we get a Mario Kart 9 before I die?
Who knows? Maybe the next couple of years.
What does that mean? Are you threatening me, son of a bitch? Next couple of years, fuck me, man. I'm not that old. I feel like it. Oh, this is getting depressing. We need to move on. Let's get out of some Nintendo stuff here. Let's talk about Xbox. Xbox has offered to put Call of Duty on PS Plus day one.
Oh wow.
So, pretty big news here. Jim Ryan did say though, I can't remember the exact quote, but basically he's like, I don't I don't want the game on here day one. I don't want you to get Call of Duty is what the quote was. Fucking, it's just wild. It's just getting wild shit. I continue not to want to talk about the actual trial thing itself, whatever the fuck you want to call it, because I'm so sick and tired of it. It's been like a year and a half now.
Yeah.
But it is that's pretty big. The fact that like, um, Xbox is making an offer about putting it on day one on PS Plus. Like that's a big change for them because, um, like the whole point about Game Pass day one. Like, what does that mean for Call of Duty on Xbox on Game Pass? Like, when's that coming? Is it coming out day two then or something? I don't know. Um, but I mean, I can also see the PlayStation's like, no, we don't want that on. We don't want that to come to any service. We want people to pay $70 for this game because we're gonna get 40% of that, and then also all of the microtransactions on top of that. So, uh,
Like they have been doing for over the past 10
yeah, well,
years.
20 years. 'Cause, I mean, as long
20
as
years,
Call of Duty's
yeah.
been around for, like, and I imagine, like, I bet if Xbox have Game Pass, they'd love to continue to get that $70 as well. But also, whatever it's with that game, whatever that sells on, for every copy that sells on PlayStation, they get 60% of that. So, I don't know, still a win, I guess. But, yeah, I don't know. That's wild. I mean, hey, you know what? Keep the fight going because honestly, this just keeps getting better for us because it's good. They got 10-year deals for this, and now it's coming to PS Plus on day one as well. Like, I don't know. We're winning in this, I guess. Who's the winning this? The gamers, apparently.
Dude, I'll tell you what, the most entertaining thing is this Jim Ryan having tantrums with this fucking
Yeah,
thing, you
yeah.
know?
I so badly cannot wait for this fucking thing to be over, Gables, because I'm so
Hmm.
goddamn tired of hearing about it.
Yeah, no shit.
So stupid. But let's move on, Gables. We've been playing. Are you cool with me going first, buddy?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so I've been playing Wolong Fallen Dynasty. I've been talking about the last couple weeks. Played the demo a couple weeks ago. I was like 15 hours or so, or something like that. And last week, Gables, I had beaten the game now. Yeah.
Good.
Not only have I beaten it, I am three collectibles away from 100%ing it. Uh,
Jesus Christ,
I've
dude.
beaten all the missions. I found all the battle flags, which are the battle flags are like the bonfires in this game. Um, the only thing that sucks is like because they're different levels. Um, they don't. So I'm missing one like note. I'm missing one like dragon essence, which is like the thing that like increases how many potions you can carry. And then I'm missing
Yes.
one of like there's like these little panda looking fuckers that you actually like feed him like a piece of armor and he'll eat it and then he'll spit
Hmm.
out like an attachment that whatever rank of that armor you give him he'll spit out a thing of that equal rank.
Hmm.
Um, and I'm missing one of them. Um, and the thing that sucks though is the game does not tell you which level you missed them at. So and
Oh
there's
no.
like 21 of these panda looking dudes. I don't know how many fucking like notes there are, and then there's 20 of these dragon potions. Uh, and I'm missing one of each, and I have no idea where to even begin to find them. So I'm just like I literally I've got every other trophy or every other achievement playing on Game Pass. Um, but yeah, like so it's funny is I like I said I beat everything else in this game. I got all the flags. I did all the side missions. I did everything. Um, I beat the game. I'm at level 130. Um, the final mission of the game used to be level 100. So I was
What?
way over leveled, Gables. Way over leveled. Like I said, I wasn't fucking around this game. It took me um 37 hours, 38 hours, I think, is where my final save was at. I could not. I, yeah,
Damn.
I spent basically that includes the demo time too. It's like I put like 3 or 4 hours in the demo. Um, so yeah, I played. I could not put this game down. I played all last weekend, and then I had Wednesday off. Played it all day Wednesday. Played it like 4 hours last night, and then I beat the game last night. And then there was like four more missions, like side missions I had to do, and I went in and I beat those this morning. So, um, absolutely had a blast this game. Like I said, like some of the last couple weeks, people have listed for a long time though. I do not. Souls games just don't vibe with me. I don't think they're bad. I just don't have the patience for that. Run your head into a wall and get good kind of scenario. Excuse me, but like it's so funny. Like this game, like it's definitely challenging. Like it took me a long time. I would say like I was probably like 20 plus hours in before I finally felt like I was just competent at the dodging and parrying mechanics of this game. Like I've never been that kind of gamer. I'm more of like the hack and slash kind of guy. Uh, you know, block some like block and stuff like that. But like with the way this game works, where like you can't just block because you have like the stamina system where if your stamina bar fills up, it stuns you. So you really can't just stand there and block. Um, but like I thought like the I thought the maps were like they're like not blown away. Like this game is not up to like the level of like I'm not gonna say like the budget or the graphical fidelity of like a Starfield, Jesus Christ, of a Dark Souls. I need to stop looking at the show notes while I'm talking. I'm gonna move that. There we go. Not up to like the like the graphical or budget, like I said, of Dark Souls or Elden Ring. Even like Elden Ring is just objectively absolutely gorgeous. But I love the boss fights. All the boss fights are pretty unique. I did hear a lot about like the it was just sometimes get really hard. Like that was kind of up and down. There wasn't like the steady like gradual like getting harder. Like that first boss that everybody's talking about is fucking crazy hard. Like I talked about last week. I had to like I got my I think I was like level 16. Like and you're supposed to be like level
Yeah.
3, and I got to like level 16, and I like that was how I ended up beating the first boss. And then I literally just didn't die against any boss fight for a very long time in this game. And then I got to the point where I was dying a few times to some, but I finally got good enough. Like, figure out the pattern and stuff like that. Got good and beat them. Um, there's a couple though that like they do holy fuck get difficult. But even one like there was one I was really worried about. I heard about that's like the second to last like main mission that I heard this guy is like extremely hard, and I destroyed him. I defeated him my first try. I don't even think I used a single potion. But there's other ones where like like I literally spent like an hour fighting some of these fucking assholes. Um, but yeah, like I think the man I just love the battle system. I love how fast paced it is. I really got into like that feels really good when you hit that parry button at the right moment, and then you get the great counter attack. But like I think I like I've never been big on like builds. I guess like that's part of it too.
Yeah.
Like that game within a game of like you got to build your character the way you want it. But I really got to like the build where I focused a lot on because like all your weapons and all of your gear you have, they have like buffs on them, and you can actually eventually into the game you can like actually like remove buffs and add new ones. And depending on the rank, you can, is how many different buffs. I think if your rank if that your gear is like a 4 star, you can have 5 buffs on your gear. And so I had like 4 star everything, so like 5 buffs, and you can actually change out what you want. So like, so if I'm like you can your lightning magic does 15% or plus 15 or plus 13 health, whatever, or minus 2% damage taken. So in everything I had, one thing I did is like, I put like the max amount of like on everything it had like I put you get like your chi, which is like your souls in this game. I added like a multiplier, so I got like plus like 7% on all my gear. So you can have 2 weapons, like 2 swords. You can have 2 bow and arrows. You can have 4 different pieces of gear, and you have 2 attachments you can add. The attachments also had that on there. I did like all my gear. I focused on like I all my stuff. I did like plus on HP, so I had more HP. More on damage, like you took less damage. So like my chi was like 60%. So like every time I killed something, I got all that chi from them plus 6% more. So like basically, I was like, I just try to like, I know I'm gonna take a lot of damage because like I got competent at parrying and dodging and all that, but as I would never say I was good at it or I got the timing down just right. Um, but so I just like I'm gonna take a lot of hits, but I'm also gonna give you a lot. I'm gonna you're gonna take a lot of damage too. Uh, to quote Rocky from Creed 2, if you're gonna give a beating, you're gotta be willing to take a beating, and that's exactly how I live in this game. Where I'm gonna take a lot of hits, I'm gonna use a lot of potions, but I'm gonna like that's why a big part of why I found all the battle flags because that made your morale go up, and then also like more places it was easy for me to like go there and reset all your potions and stuff like that. Like,
Mm.
um, so yeah, like overall at the end, like I absolutely love this game. I'm bummed that there's no way for me to like without going through each individual level and try to find every last thing. There's no way for me to actually like 100% this game because like I totally would like that. Literally, that's all I have to do is find these three collectibles. Out of hundreds of collectibles, I have three left to do,
Oh
and I'm
wow.
bummed about it. But yeah, like I even went on the Reddit page. I joined the Reddit page to like to try to figure this out. Like, is there a way for me to figure this out? And they're like, no. Like, fuck. Um, but yeah,
That's
yeah, like I
ridiculous.
love the gameplay. The story is I don't know what the heck. Like, what the fuck's going on? I just popped on. I listened to podcasts the entire time I was playing this game too. But so I really don't I like have too much of a clue what the fuck's going on with the story. Um, yeah, I love the boss fights. I love the visuals of this game. They like I said, they're not like Elden Ring or Dark Souls like quality of like blow away gorgeous graphics, but like I like the design of like the enemies. The boss fights never like consistently giving you boss fights, really cool. And the only like the real major like drawback I have is like the enemy variety in like the main areas isn't great. Like they do a good job early on of like
Hmm.
every area. Like they introduced new enemies, but they also filled it with a lot of old enemies eventually though. So like yeah, they're throwing a couple new ones at you.
Right.
There's some fun new mini bosses in there, but even sometimes some of the mini bosses are just bosses from older stages. Um, but yeah, I like yeah, this game it's fantastic. I love this game a lot. Um, like I could see like if you're a Souls fan, maybe like if you're like one of those hardcore ones, like I've listened to a lot of them talk about it. I was kind of curious about like how they felt about it. And a lot of them like yeah, it's fine. It's like it's like to them this is like a 7 or is like maybe like an 8 out of 10 to them. But man, I'm blown away by this game. Like I love this game. Yeah, like definitely like it has its issues. I could see why maybe they felt that way, but I mean, like I said, I've never been a Souls person ever. I usually play them for a few hours, get frustrated, and rage quit. But something about this game, maybe I think it's just like I said, I like the art style. Like the Souls art doesn't really like I don't really care for that kind of that style. I like the Bloodborne style. But I love the gameplay, the fast pacedness of it. But yeah, man, this is gonna be high up on my game of the year list. I feel like when it comes we're talking about when we're doing our game of the year in 9 months, which is crazy to say. But yeah, man,
Yeah.
fantastic game. You have Game Pass, fucking check it out. At least there's a demo on everything. So if you don't have, even if you don't have Game Pass, if you have a console that's not Switch, you can play it. But yeah, yeah, that's what I've been playing. Games. Oh, I also beat Devil in Me. That's that um,
Okay.
super massive game. Finally beat that today as well. I only like an hour left. Finally beat it. I love that game. Really, really good. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing. Games we've been playing.
All right. So I've been playing a plethora of things. First and foremost, I did finish up the Lightfall
Oh, cool.
expansion for Destiny 2. That's the thing, though. Last time I recorded, I played close to halfway, if not like right exactly at the halfway point. I thought in regards to the thing, I did not like the story aspect of it so far from what I did play from the last time. On top of it, I did like the gameplay. I just didn't like certain characters that were NPCs in this game that just really felt really out of place and stupid. I still feel like the same way after finishing Lightfall expansion. And here's the thing, though: some of the battles inside of this game, inside of this expansion and stuff, it feels pretty good, pretty organic and stuff. You actually do have, and this is kind of hilarious because towards it, I'm going to go into some bit of spoilers for Lightfall. for Destiny 2 Lightfall. And this is the only way I can really go forth and kind of communicate
All
my
right.
feelings about this one.
If yeah, real quick,
So,
if you this pretty much be the end of the podcast. I know we got more to talk about, but we're pretty much towards the end. So if you like all this, please like, follow, subscribe, all the fun stuff. Look in the description down below. Click the links, like the things, follow the things, all that fun jazz. This is your final warning. Gables, go.
alrighty. So for Lightfall, they initially touted this thing from like the witness, right? The witness is right there. He's pretty much close to where the veil and stuff is at and stuff. Literally, the starting point of that expansion is literally the same as the ending point of the expansion. It's quintessentially this whole expansion, the Lightfall, felt like an entire filler arc inside of a TV show or filler episodes. And let me explain that because it's like you first start off by being transported to Neptune, obviously, and the whole Nemomosa, or not Mimosa, or like Nemosa, or what the hell the name of the damn
Every
city is, right? This
every
whole
time you bring up
Neotopian.
the factor on Neptune makes me mad.
I understand that. But what makes me even more mad is the quality of the fucking story inside of this game. Because you go from Witch Queen that had a good quality in regards to its storytelling and stuff. Gameplay was fine. That was pretty fun in that regards. I only played it through once, but yet going through for Lightfall and stuff like that, I did love a lot of the gameplay missions. They were fairly fun, and that's one of the saving graces of this entire expansion. Whereas, like, you have multiple different like levels and stuff to where you could do experiment from Strand. Strand is an ability you don't get towards like you don't get until fully after expansions like the expansion's done and over with, right? So until that point, you're pretty much kind of being spoon fed all the way through how to use Strand and how to do this and doing that. I kind of akin it to, say, another game that I had played and that's kind of disappointing and kind of controversial for some people's eye. That was Final Fantasy 13, because that had a infamous tutorial thing to where that
35 hours.
stretched throughout the full not just 35 hours, man. I'm talking about like at least I don't. Well, that's the thing, man. It was like about what 9, like 10 chapters of that damn game before it finally opened up and stuff out of a tutorial sort of thing like that, and that was like about 10 to 15 hours, I think. This whole campaign for expansion lasts for anywhere between like 8 to 10, right? So you got 8 main missions. Like I said before, the gameplay stuff in terms of the structure and the missions, they were fine. The final battle against like Callus and all the other stuff, that was pretty fun too. I played half of this game by myself, right? As soon as I got through half of it, some of my friends decided to join me to go forth so I can go and finish off the rest of it, right? This is the type of thing to where I kind of felt like I had more fun playing it by myself in some aspects because if you play with other people, this game feel that expansion felt easier, absolutely kind of easier in some aspects of it. Like, I mean, I'm glad because there were some portions towards the end where it felt like it was kind of a little bit more of a kind of a little bit more of like monotonous and sort of kind of like difficult in some difficulty spike spots towards the end of the expansion. But I'll tell you what, man, there was a lot of cliches being put inside this story, not only in regards to some of the characters like Nimbus and also like for Rohan and stuff like that. Like Rohan being the old dude or something like that, like one day, like he's literally like near the end of his life, right? Because of the species or something like that. These type of humans only last for about 10 years, these old cloud like runners or something like that. And so it's like he's the old guy, and so this is literally his last major run before retirement. And like you have the newbie, Nimbus and stuff like that, the energetic, overly annoying, like kid like character and stuff that literally you have to go to over and over again for like turning in stuff for like NPC sort of stuff, getting your bounties, doing this and doing that and stuff. And the thing about Nimbus that kind of rubs me the wrong way about him and stuff is there are serious scenes inside of this expansion to where you have like a conversation between like the NPC, like your character is literally giving like a speech or something like that to like a couple of the other different NPCs and stuff like that, right? And this is towards before like the final a couple missions of the game of the expansion. So you're talking with Keitel, like the Empress of like the Cabal people, like stuff like that. You're talking like with another character as well, and all of a sudden here comes Nimbus flying in, right? And some of the most unnecessary shit I think I've seen is like he flies in on this freaking like skyboard, right? He literally like kind of like crashes like inside the freaking thing in the building, goes sliding down the damn building and stuff like that. Like overly dramatic rise, and it pops over and it's like, yeah, let's go ahead, let's go just beat these bad guys and stuff like that. Wait, let's be the heroes. I'm like,
He's like the Anakin Skywalker of Destiny 2.
he kind of reminds me of the Jar Jar
Oh,
Binks of
I was
fucking
I was
Destiny
I was just
2.
thinking of like Anakin, like yippee!
Somewhat.
Are you an
Okay, I could see
angel?
that. And Anakin's.
Fucking asshole.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you know what? It does draw some parallels to, like, say, Anakin Skywalker in Episode
At
One.
least Jar Jar
But
had a point. Now I'm
okay.
getting mad about the prequels,
So I've
Gables.
already said.
Jesus, you're just upsetting me this podcast. Mid 30s, Resident Evil 4 touched me as a child.
Oh, okay. So overall thoughts of the Lightfall expansion after trying out this all the story missions and stuff. Gameplay stuff was fine. There was some problems I did have with Strand being pretty much strung out the whole entire expansion. Tutorials all the way through from pretty much the beginning of the thing to the end. The story advancement in of itself to where you were at the beginning towards the end of it remained the same. Bar it, oh okay, we just spent a whole bunch of time like trying to like prevent like the witness from getting the veil, and he ended up and basically just did absolutely nothing in that regards. It just felt like there was just aspects of that thing kind of felt like a waste of time. It felt like more of in Destiny 2's sort of mythos or something like that. It just seemed more like a seasonal event. Like every season they have their different type of storyline that goes throughout, right? And so it's like this kind of felt like an extension of that. Only instead of having the $10 type of thing per season, you paid $50 for this goddamn thing, right? So yeah, new ability. You have all these quality of life stuff. Yeah, the quality of life stuff was fine that they introduced with this expansion. That was a good positive. So I'm talking about the gameplay in terms of the missions, about the quality of life stuff, but I don't feel like it does warrant really a purchase unless you're like a really diehard Destiny 2 fan. Like if you're a new player that's interested in playing Destiny 2, I would actually suggest you to wait until the next expansion or something like that, or wait until the extent to where this current expansion is at a place where feels it feels like decent in that regards. Because I'll tell you what, like after playing through Lightfall and stuff like that, I seriously question whether I want to play through it again, like two more times with my other characters. Now, granted, Witch Queen, yeah, I could go back and replay that campaign if I chose to with my two other characters, my Warlock and my freaking Hunter and stuff. But for Lightfall, I feel like the whole entire quality of the thing is like a 6 out of 10, at least. It's not terrible, but it's also not like great. It's the middle of the road. It's more like the 6 or 7 out of 10 sort of S type of thing. But with that aside, I did play some of Metroid Fusion that released on the Switch Online stuff. I'm still really digging that game. I mean, it's been over 15 years since I've actually played through and beat that game. And everything from the dark atmosphere of that space station that Samus is going through, battling against the Sat X or something, that parasite, this whole X parasite thing that's infiltrated like that corrupted her armor or something like that you gotta fight out throughout the entirety of that game and stuff. It still holds strong even after like 20 some odd years. It's still a freaking strong, awesome game. So I played a little bit of that. I did play a couple of things demos and stuff, one of them being the Kirby demo, which I wanted to play a little bit of that, Return to Dreamland stuff. That's fun. I mean, hey, I played through a couple of different levels, collected all the little things. Okay, it's the same Kirby style of games and stuff that I used to play. I know I'm going to be playing that game eventually because I love stress-free games like Kirby.
You want a stress-free
But
game, Gables? I recommend Wolong.
I understand, Tyler. I understand. I've played that demo too. That's a pretty damn fun demo.
Zero stress.
But I'll tell you what, the best thing I played, the best thing I played this week, this past week, has been that Resident Evil 4 demo. And damn, I've only played it through once. I think I spent a good solid 10 or 15
Oh,
minutes playing it. That fucking made me want to play more of it. And I'll tell you what, I wasn't trying to collect everything or this or that and stuff. But when I finally got to the initial village, and stuff, went through a whole bunch of different like aspects of it, it just left me wanting more. I do love the parrying stuff, but what was hilarious about that is there was this one moment and stuff like that where I finally get up to like the last portion, before the bell sounds, all the villagers escape and this and that. I'm not gonna go and spoil anything major in regards to this stuff, but we'll say the fucking cow, that fucking
oh
cow and
yeah.
stuff with the land with that whole like lantern stuff like that. I had forgotten that that thing was a thing inside there, and so here I am, I'm fighting off the villagers, and all of a sudden I see this random cow on fire, just going like just coming after me, like whoa, no, 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 like, oh shit, just the whole panic and all this other stuff. But I'll tell you one thing they did. Leon said the line.
Oh,
That's the
I just
only
I
thing
want
I'll
to. I hope
say.
this game touches me the
More.
same way it is when I was a child. It's the best I can wish for.
Oh. This demo was so good, it made me want to play. It makes me want to play through it again, and not just play through it again, but see what else I can
Is there
uncover
any
with it.
benefits? Like, does anything carry over
But
to
I think some of this
fuck?
thing
All
does
right,
carry
I might have to
over.
play it now.
I think you
I
would
might
have to
check it.
double check with that, Tyler. But there are hidden things inside of this
It was
demo,
so bad.
and there is a hidden weapon. There is a hidden weapon inside that you cannot access through like that you're gonna
The shotgun?
forget. You're not gonna encounter the. No, no, it's not the
Okay.
shotgun. Oh, the shotgun is in it in the place where you would expect it, but that's not the weapon I'm talking about.
Is it the Magnum cables?
No.
The infinite grenade launcher?
Oh no, no, no. Maybe you need to find out
Oh,
yourself.
fuck me, goddamn it. Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to play the goddamn demo. I don't want to do it, but I'm gonna have to do it. Fuck me.
And it's like the only way you can unlock that is by a way that you're not going to be thinking about that you wouldn't think about
All right.
because it's actually
I don't
kind of
have to set the
rewarded
cow
to
on fire,
you
do I?
for
Oh, thank God. I don't want to do
no.
that.
No, you don't have
Okay.
to
Well,
set
I
the
just want to
cow on
make sure.
fire. I mean, the damn thing will get on fire
I just played Devil
regardless.
in Me today, and there was a part in the game. Spoilers for that game, by the way, at the end where I had only lost one character out of the five. I was literally lost like 30 minutes of the game. And you get to the part where the guy is coming after you and you're hiding, but you're with a dog. You find the
Huh?
dog. Name is Connie, by the way. The dog.
Huh?
Sweet dog, sweetheart, super nice dog. Love that dog. Saved my character's life multiple times. Where literally you either had to, the dog was like giving away where you're hiding, so you had to either kill the dog or let the guy like the dog bark and the guy finds you and kills the person. Well,
Oh
obviously I
God.
saved the dog, right? Like, fuck Jamie. Spoilers for that, it's Jamie. Um, like, come on now. You could have been all five of them standing there. It's like, okay, do you want to save the dog or the five people? Well, obviously the dog. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, no
Fuck
shit.
Jamie. Fuck Mark. Fuck Charlie. Fuck Aaron. Fuck Kate. Fuck them all. Connie the dog is much better than all of them. So yeah. I just want to make sure. I do
Yeah.
not want to set the.
Well,
I've never set that cow on fire, and I'm never gonna do it.
well, trust me when I say this, man. It's like you don't have to set the cow on fire inside of this game. I think the villagers pretty much do
Oh
that anyway.
no!
That's what
Oh
I
god
found
damn it,
out.
Gables! I don't want to know that. No, no, I'm sad. It's like when you told me I was in my mid-30s. No, I'm
You're not gonna
not,
live this
Gables.
down
Like my
anytime
life
soon.
is over at this point.
The subtle realization of, uh-oh,
Yeah.
Gables plays
Fucking
spoilers.
goddamn it. And apparently I'm gonna die in a couple years, according to Gables. So.
Dude, dude.
All
You gotta
right.
at least try out this Resident Evil
Well,
4 demo, dude.
I
This
was
is
gonna
fantastic.
I was gonna watch
Absolutely.
the new Puss in Boots and then Detective Pikachu, but even so, I'll just play the demo for 5 hours. So yeah.
But that's it though, man. That's what I've been
Alrighty.
playing this
Well,
week.
that will wrap it up for this week as well. If you guys like this, enjoyed the show, please, like I said earlier, like, follow, subscribe, um, hit that like button, 5 stars, leave a comment, tell us what you think of the show. Tell us if you agree or not disagree with our opinions. Be nice, be nice. This is it's a fun time. It's a thing we just do for fun. But like I said, look in the description down below for where we're at on Spotify, Apple, Facebook, Twitter, all that fun stuff. Please, like I said, go there, share all that. But anyways, I was Tyler. Oh, Skype's fucking up on us. All right. Well, Gables, uh, too sweet. Bye,
You
guys.